We're now going to move on to the next drawing aid, and the one we'll be looking at is called Orthomode. When we're using a line or polyline, we can use the Orthomode, which will constrain the cursor movement to the horizontal or vertical direction. When we're drawing a line, we want to make sure that that is straight and at 0 degrees. We don't want it to be off at an angle. We want to make sure that that is at 0 or 90 degrees. So we'll come down to the status bar, and here we have an L shape, which is our ortho mode. So one click of the mouse will turn that on. It's now blue, meaning that it's active. Also in the info box, it's also telling me that it's on. So now that that is on, we'll come back to our line, and we'll see when I move my line across at 0 degrees, we see that the line is fixed at 0 degrees. Regardless of where I move my mouse, the line is fixed at 0 degrees. If I want to go to 90 degrees, I'll come back to my start point and move the cursor up. We now see that it's fixed at 90 degrees, same below the x-axis. So I got 0, 90, 180, 270. So this means that we can quickly draw straight lines knowing that they are locked in and completely straight. Enter to finish. Now that we know how to accurately draw a line which is straight, we now want to be able to draw that line straight and enter in a distance. And what we're going to do is we're going to use another drawing aid called dynamic input. So down the bottom here, the dynamic input isn't being displayed. So what we're going to do is go to the customization on the right hand side, click once, and in here we'll see all of the different drawing aids which are currently turned on or turned off. And here we have dynamic input. So we want to turn dynamic input on. And there it is there. So when I'm drawing, all of the information which is around the cursor is the dynamic input. So the information which the dynamic input will provide will be the distance, the angle, as well as which drawing aid is active. So you can see here on my screen, it says that I'm currently drawing this line at 49.4846 millimeters at 0 degrees using the ortho mode. So when I'm going to draw my line and I want to specify a particular distance, I can either select my line tool or I can hit the L key. The L is the hotkey for line, or the short key for line. So that's being typed into my command line. Press enter, and it's now asking for my first point. So I'll enter my first point. And through the dynamic input, I'm now going to give a distance. So I'll give my first distance of 100 and press enter. So this line here is 100 millimeters and it's at 0 degrees. And just to confirm that, I'll use my distance tool, which is confirming that it's at 100. If you draw a line at 100 and it's either too big or too small, you can't find it. The reason for this is you're either zoomed in too much or zoomed out too much. I'll give you an example. If I zoom in quite a lot, draw a line at 100, I can see my line there, but I cannot find the end. So I can either scroll my wheel out, or if you double click on the wheel, it'll zoom everything we've just drawn into the center of the sheet. So again, I'll delete everything, draw my line at 100, and if we double tap the wheel, it'll bring it into the center of the screen. So I'll draw another line 100, but up 90 degrees. So there we have two lines at 100 millimeters and 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So when we are drawing a line continuously, what we'll do is we'll first draw our first line at 100. Then remaining in the line tool, I'll move my cursor up in the direction I want my next line, enter in the distance of 100, then move in the new direction, 100, and again back down So I'm moving the cursor in the direction at which I want my line to go, and then entering in the distance. And for the last section, I can just click on the start point to complete the object. So this is how we can draw continuously without stopping. And all lines, as it was done within the same action, are all joined together.